Chicago Theater Week runs February 6th through the 16th with special prices on plays and musicals across theaters across Chicagoland. Marissa, Lynn, League of Chicago Theaters Executive Director, here to chat all about it. Thank you so much for your time today. So great to see you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. This is amazing and an exciting time of the year.
I mean, and especially we're getting a little, we'll talk a little bit about later, we're getting a little bit of crossover with Chicago Restaurant Week, but it's a great time to get out there for a great price to go see some wonderful theater.
Absolutely. We have tickets at accessible prices of just $15, $30 or less. And so a great opportunity for the whole family to enjoy theater around this time of year.
There's a lot of wonderful productions, and I want to talk about one of the ones that everybody is talking about because Looking Glass, after an 18-month, hiatus, we actually get to return, and they're kind of kicking off the season with Chicago Theater Week.
They're kicking it off in a big way. Looking Glass is known for their phenomenal ensemble work and for their acrobatics, and all of that is taking place in Circus Quixote, which is a run of Don Quixote's story, and it's about, a man who has read all this material and has it in his head, and how he wants to let people do good deeds, even if they don't want to. So it's a little fun. It's a little of the familiar work that Looking Glass for, and we are so excited to welcome them back to the stage.
Yeah, I mean, because we got that in the downtown, but we also have things, across, on the south side, on the northwest side, in the suburbs, and Harold Washington Center running numbers, a family business.
Yes, running numbers. So running numbers is what originated the current lottery today. So it all started here in Chicago with people who were struggling and trying to find a way to survive against that. And it really goes into that history and the generations that started that and that intergenerational story. So I'm really excited for people to learn some history, learn some Chicago history as well, and the history of the lottery.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the lottery, obviously, a huge phenomenon, but luckily that it started in Chicago. And a little bit off topic, also learning that the Harlem Globetrotters are not from Harlem in New York. It actually got started in Chicagoland.
Chicago is a phenomenal place
Yeah.
I mean, we've got so much rich history here that travels across the world that, the stage is a great place to learn a lot about that.
About the history of here. Let's talk a little bit about race car, race car, race car.
Yes, that's at Bramble Theater, and it's about a father and daughter who take a trip, a road trip, and they learn more about themselves, and they kind of transform in the process. And they bring up all the things of their dreams and nightmares with each other and how that plays out. So a little excitement, a little of that intergenerational story sharing as well.
And obviously, one of the biggest hits on Broadway in recent times, Fun Home, is coming back here. We get to see it at the Porchlight Theater here in Chicago.
Porch Life, Fun Home, if you love music, if you want to get into a story of growth and transformation, it's really about a young person who gets to see the adults in their lives through grown-up eyes for the first time and realizing their story as they develop their own. And so, yeah, I would say that's one of the new classics taking over in Broadway spaces. And so Porchlight doing it in their own way is going to be really fun.
Let's talk a little bit about, especially with the price point, $15, or $30 tickets that we have is leading up to Valentine's Day. It's a Valentine's Day weekend. I mean, kind of maybe changing up your routine, maybe seeing something that you love, or maybe checking out something that, might be new to both of you.
Absolutely. We have something in all the neighborhoods and across the suburbs. And so, get into that experience. This is the first thing that you can still miss out on at this point. There's no rewind button, there's no pause, there's no commercials that are going to interrupt. This is live theater. And so, it could be a different show each night. It can be a performance of traditional theater, a musical. We have comedy. We also have dance performances involved as well.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of ones that that I'm excited for. Obviously, the ones that you had mentioned, Fan Ham coming to the Goodman. That was on
Yes.
Broadway. I think this is the first tour, the first production, outside of New York that we get to see it here. Very excited about that one.
Yeah, Definition Theater partnering with Goodman Theater for the presentation of this production. I got to step in and be a fly on the wall for the first part of first rehearsal. The cast is amazing, some great characters, and of course, the story is very lovely.
And it's, especially if you're thinking about the classics. I mean, lyric opera, Singing in the Rain. If you've never been to the Lyric, I mean, this is a great price to go check it out. And this is one of those, stories and movies and musicals that it transcends time that, so many generations love. I mean, this is the perfect time to go check it out.
You have that like scene from the movie, if you know the movie, you have that same scene in your head with the water coming down, and it's like being able to see how that's interpreted on stage today, especially at the Lyric. And if you haven't been to the Lyric, it's beautiful. So that's a beautiful date night to take somebody to.
And a few other ones that I'm excited for. Raisin in the Sun coming to the Court Theater. Always a wonderful, story to see on stage, but especially, during this time. Go ahead and checking it out.
Yeah, Court is right in my neighborhood, so I love going by Court Theater. Raising the Sun, the classic story of the younger family and everything they have to deal with in the times of change and struggle and trying to, we all want to have the American dream. We all want to be able to give our family better, and so that classic story will always resonate from time to time.
And I mentioned earlier, and I want to kind of backtrack a little bit. I said, as far as like date nights for Valentine's Day, but this is the perfect time. Valentine's Day, going out by yourself, grabbing a group of friends, because there's a lot of comedy, a lot of fun things we can do. Drunk Shakespeare is always a good time. Teatro Zinzani is always a good time. I mean, these are great things that you can just do on your own or with a group of friends or family.
Yeah, talk about dinner and a show. Teatro Zinzani has, a variety of artists, a variety of new things for you to see. The Laugh Factory, the IIO Theater with improvisation happening across Chicagoland. You get to see some of the best Chicago artists on stage, before they go on to write for film and TV and all these things. This is where the work happens right here in Chicago. We're the incubation city for great theater, great artists, great playwrights.
And the last one I wanted to mention was Waitress out at the Paramount in Aurora. Beautiful theater. I love Waitress, one of my favorite, recent shows. Definitely go if you can make that drive out, or if you're out in the burbs, they got one for you.
Make that drive, make it a weekend. There's some great restaurants out by Paramount, out by Marriott as well, up at Writers Theater. All of the suburb areas have some oil lamp theater as well. There's opportunities to support so many different productions.
And the final thing here, as far as people getting these special prices on the tickets, obviously, ChicagoTheaterWeek.com. Codes, they have a special link. Like, how do people make sure that they get these right prices?
Definitely go to ChicagoTheaterWeek.com. That's the best place to go to get the best prices for Chicago Theater Week. And mostly the codes are CTW25, but you do want to check in on the website just in case there's special pages to redirect to.
Wonderful. Marissa, it's always great to chat with you. Thank you so much for your time today. Again, Chicago Theater Week runs February 6th through the 16th. And as we mentioned, ChicagoTheaterWeek.com for all that info. And we will see you in the theater very, very soon.
Absolutely. See you in the audience soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.